Are you making a style mistake right now that's making you look frumpy? There's a good chance you are and you don't even know it. Hello everyone, it's me, Serena. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to share with you 7 of the most common style mistakes that are making you or your clothing look frumpy. And you may be making these and not even know it. And why should we care? Well, the name of my channel is Style with Serena, and my purpose is to help midlife women look and feel their best. Because whether you like it or not, we are judged based on our appearance. We're judged in the workplace. We're judged out in public. The way people treat us is directly related to the way we look and the way we dress. You're going to get more respect when you're seen as someone who has their act together and someone who knows what's going on. You're up with the current trends. Now, I'm not saying dress trendy all the time. I mean, you're aware of what's going on in the world around you. And I know we throw around this frumpy word a lot, but what exactly does frumpy mean? Well, let's ask Merriam-Webster. The definition of frumpy is dowdy or drab, as in dressed in an unattractive way. She's a frumpy dresser. Or speaking of clothing, it can be unattractive, having an old, dull, unflattering, or untidy appearance. So none of those are very positive, are they? And some other words that are synonyms of frumpy are, these are even worse: unbecoming, unshapely, unaesthetic, repulsive, disgusting, plain, etc., etc. And none of these are positive things. So what are some of the most common mistakes that could be making you look frumpy without knowing it? Let's jump in. A portion of today's video is sponsored by my friends at Sleep and Glow. That's the pillow that you guys always ask me about, and I will talk about that a little bit later. Mistake number 1 that we're talking about today is shapeless clothing. So what I mean by that is dressing in a way that you're just trying to hide your body. So an example of that would be me in this outfit right here. It's a button-up shirt, a pair of black trousers, and some white sneakers, and I have a tote bag. The button-up is oversized, the pants are sort of a wide leg and they're flowy, and everything is just big and shapeless. So you can't tell what kind of shape I've got going on under there. You can't tell exactly what size I am. I just kind of look like a big blob. Who knows? And it just looks a little bit messy because the long shirt hanging out and then the wider leg pants and then even this bag, add it all together and it's just unshapely. And I get why a lot of people dress like this. It's because they feel self-conscious. They've got a tummy or a rear end or something that they feel self-conscious about and they want to try to conceal it. But my friends, this is not the way to do it, because when you dress in big clothing all over, it makes you look bigger than you actually are. Yes, it may hide that one flaw you're trying to hide, but you're covering up everything else and you're not emphasizing anything positive. So let's take a look at how I fixed this outfit. So here is an improved version of that outfit, and it is just as comfortable, but some key tweaks take it from frumpy to fabulous. First of all, I tucked my shirt in, and I know a lot of you may be self-conscious about tucking in a shirt because, of a tummy or whatever. But if you notice, I did tuck in a t-shirt and it is more fitted. So at least you get a glimpse of my figure. You can tell that I have a waist. You can tell what size I am. But instead of being just all exposed, I topped it off with this little denim tinsel jacket that is very comfortable. It's soft and drapey, and that gives you some coverage. So everything isn't just tucked in and out there to see. And by having that little bit of the fitted tucked in shirt showing off my waist, then I immediately look a lot smaller than I did in the before picture. Another very small tweak I made was I changed out the shoes. Now, the shoes I wore in the first outfit were a true white, and they were a little bit more chunky, and I swapped those for a different pair. This pair is more, you know, on trend for right now. It's more streamlined sneaker, and this one is in more of an off-white color. So it's more on trend with the gum sole, and it's not such a stark contrast as the solid white sneakers. Another small tweak I made, I got rid of the big tote bag, in which I don't have anything against big tote bags, but sometimes you have to be strategic with your bag. And I swapped it out for this shoulder bag, which is still very generously sized, but it's just not as big and unstructured as the brown faux suede one that I was carrying in the first outfit. So take a look at these side by side, and you can see the difference between the frumpy outfit and the improved outfit. Speaking of an improvement, the one thing that I have done for myself that has improved my quality of sleep and my skin over the past couple of years is I have started sleeping on the Omnia pillow from Sleep and Glow. And yes, I had never heard of them until they reached out to me a couple of years ago, but ever since I started sleeping on this pillow, I have been hooked. I believe in this product, and that is why I continue to share it with my audience. Sleep and Glow pillow is designed by orthopedists for side sleepers. So it supports your neck and it keeps your face cradled, and your face never touches the pillow. So you don't have to worry about your pillowcase soaking up the creams and night treatments and serums that you put on your face at night before bed. And with its patented design, it keeps your head and neck and everything in proper alignment. I used to wake up all the time with pain in my neck, and I used to get puffiness around my eyes, and I would get those sheet wrinkles, you know, from laying on a regular pillow. And I would have the sheet wrinkles and then the creases around my eyes and my mouth just from laying on that type of pillow. And with Sleep and Glow, you don't have to worry about that. It comes with a tinsel pillowcase, and they also have silk pillowcases that go on the Omnia pillow, and silk is so great for our hair and our skin, and it naturally is a temperature regulating material too. Sleep and Glow is adding new colors and patterns to their silk pillowcases all the time, and I just got this one in this beautiful fuchsia pink, but they're adding more and more colors and patterns to suit any taste or any decor. And they have a special offer for my viewers. Use my link that I'll put down in the description and code Serena at checkout, and you'll receive $15 off any pillow or blanket on their website and 10% off anything else from the website. So thanks to Sleep and Glow for sponsoring today. Now let's get back to the video. So this next style mistake is something that you've probably heard on my channel before, and I may be stepping on some toes here, and I apologize, but this is some tough love. Okay, and also keep in mind that my channel is about style for midlife women. So that is where this is coming from. And that mistake is wearing your running shoes with your street clothes. No, this is not okay, y'all. And there's really no excuse for it now because we have so many options of cute fashion sneakers. I'm not saying never wear sneakers, but don't wear, you know, the really thick, like your Hoka's or your New Balance or your Brooks or whatever. Don't wear those with your street clothes. Wear those when you're walking for exercise. Wear those when you're actually exercising. Wear those with your athleisure outfits. That's fine. But they don't have a place with jeans, ever. And certainly not with khakis or anything like that. And no, it doesn't matter if they're solid black. That doesn't make them okay either. That just makes them black athletic shoes. No, do not wear these. We have so many cute options. I have shown countless options of cute sneakers styled with outfits here on my channel. I'm showing some over here, and I have put together a collection of stylish, comfortable fashion sneakers that I'm going to link down in the description of this video, so y'all can go and find some that you like, that are comfortable and look up to date and don't look frumpy. And yes, I realize that some of you may have foot issues. I have bunions myself. I've mentioned that so many times on my channel, but even I can find shoes that don't hurt my feet, that don't look like Hoka's or whatever. It can be done. And if you have other issues like plantar fasciitis or something like that, I had that after the birth of my son. And yes, it's painful, but you can get inserts for that and put them in these cute sneakers. You don't have to be relegated to the athletic shoes with all your outfits. There are options. And speaking of links, yes, this is a frumpy video, but I know I'll get questions about where to buy this or that. So everything from today's video, if I can link it through YouTube Shopping, it will appear down in the corner of the video right here, or the pictures of the items will be underneath the video screen. And you can scroll through here until you find the one you're interested in and then click or tap on it. Now, if you're looking for something and it doesn't show up in those picture links, that means it's further down in the description. So you're gonna have to keep on scrolling, scroll down till you see the text descriptions of everything and the links. And I will either have the exact item and a link for it, or I'll have a link to a collection, like I mentioned, those shoes, that will take you to that listing of items that you can choose from there. So that is where you can find the links, and all the text links, I will copy those and put in a comment and pin it to the top of the comment section. I have a bonus 8th style mistake that I'm going to add on at the end of today's video that I just remembered. So you want to stick around to the end of the video for that. Frumpy mistake number 3 is wearing your pants or jeans too long. Your pants or jeans should not puddle on top of your foot, and they certainly shouldn't be puddling on the floor or on the ground. Number one, yuck. Who wants their pants or jeans dragging around on the ground all the time? And number two, this is one of the things in that definition was like rumpled or disheveled. This looks disheveled. This looks like, you're wearing something that doesn't fit you and you can't be bothered to make sure it fits correctly. And it looks sloppy. When you have all these folds and wrinkles and excess fabric at the bottom of your pants, it just looks sloppy and messy. And believe me, I know how hard it can be for those of us who are petite to find pants and jeans that are the right length. I'm only 5'2", so I'm definitely within the definition of petite. But you can find petite length pants and jeans on so many websites now. Quince, J. Crew Factory, Talbot's, Gap, Old Navy even. You can find petite, regular, and tall inseam lengths on all these websites. And yes, you have to know your inseam. So measure your inseam from your crotch to the bottom of your ankle. That's your inseam length. And then when you order online, read and look at the inseam and figure out which one you need. Because with me, sometimes I need a petite inseam. A lot of the time, they're too short for me. And it also depends on what shoes you're going to be wearing. So I know it's a pain. And yes, it requires, different lengths of jeans and different shoes. But if you want to look put together and you want to look your best, then you've got to have your pants or jeans the right length. At the end of today's video, leave me a comment and let me know if you have been guilty of any of these frumpy style mistakes. And have you learned today how to correct them? Okay, mistake number 4. This is one that is so common and I see it all the time and I can understand why. And that is always wearing black shoes. We all have black shoes. Black shoes or boots or sandals, they have a place in our wardrobe for sure. But the mistake is always reaching for black. People think, oh, well, black goes with everything. I'll wear my black shoes. But if you are wearing something that is lighter and then you put a pair of black shoes with it, it just draws the eye down and that's all you see. And here's an example. So I have on a pair of cream colored corduroy pants and this leopard print top, and I'm carrying a black bag. This is all from Talbot's, by the way. They sent me over the top and the pants, so thanks to Talbot's for sending this over. I bought the bag myself, but it is from Talbot's as well. And so you might think, okay, black purse, you got the black and the leopard print, black shoes. But look what this does. It just brings the eye down and all you see are those black loafers, and it just cuts me off. It makes my legs look shorter. When you've got on whatever outfit, you don't want somebody to just look down at your feet. So see what a difference here. I have swapped out those black loafers for a pair of ballet flats that are kind of in this nude color. And nude can be whatever your skin tone is. And nude or tan shoes are much more versatile than black. And with this outfit, immediately, you know, the shoes just kind of go away. In this outfit, they really shouldn't be the focus because there's enough going on with that top. So that top is the focal point of this outfit. The shoes just kind of fade into the background, and that is just fine. So before you put on a pair of khaki pants or a dress even, and then put on a pair of black pumps or black sandals or even black boots, really look in the mirror and think more about matching your shoe to either A, your skin tone, or B, your pants. That's going to give a much more cohesive look and just a much more streamlined look rather than that jarring addition of a strong black shoe. If you're wearing black pants, go for it. You're wearing dark wash jeans, wear some black booties. That's fine. But black is not the only option. So one of the phrases in that definition of frumpy was old-fashioned. And old-fashioned, that means, well, you know what old-fashioned means, but it can also mean out of touch. You know, someone who's old-fashioned, you know, they like things the way they were. They don't like change. They are comfortable in things the way they are. They don't care what other people think. They're just gonna do things their way. They don't care if there's a better way to do it or a more stylish way to do it. Stuck in their ways is another way to describe it. And one of the things that can make us look frumpy or old-fashioned quicker than anything is outdated denim. And this one is so important because we all wear denim. We all wear jeans, and jean silhouettes have a way of being instantly identifiable of when that particular style was first popular. You know, right now, boho is trending. And so you're seeing a lot of bootcut and flare jeans. Well, when did we first see the flares? Well, back in the 70s when they were called bell bottoms. That's when they first were around. And a rule of thumb, and I don't follow this 100% of the time, but it is a good thing to think about, is if you were part of that trend the first time it came around, maybe skip it the second time. Because a Gen Z person out here wearing bell bottoms right now is cute. But if we put it on, if you're middle-aged or older, you might look a little bit outdated, like you're hanging on to those items you had back when you were younger. And that, even though it's in style right now, that can make you look or appear old-fashioned or frumpy. So what are some other examples of outdated denim? Overly distressed denim. Now, back a few years ago, this was everywhere. You know, the really faded, whiskered, and even distressed with the little holes in denim. Those were seen a lot. But now, you really are not seeing that. Now it's more dark wash denim or a medium wash denim that's just kind of the same all over. There's no obvious signs of distressing. So if you have these that are overly distressed, especially with a lot of rips and tears, it's probably time to put those aside or donate them because those are not making you look stylish and current right now. Another thing that can really look kind of frumpy because it is so marketed toward women of a certain age by certain stores, and Chico's, I'm going to throw you under the bus because you are guilty of this, and that is, and I love Chico's, you know I do, but they are guilty of this. That is embellished denim. So what do I mean by that? I mean denim that has, you know, flowers embroidered on it, denim that has little studs on it, denim that has whatever this is on it, I'm not sure. Anything like that can really make you look dated and frumpy or really just older because you don't ever really see the younger girls wearing jeans that have this kind of stuff on them. So I'm not sure why Chico's and some other retailers that target an older demographic love to do this, but they do. But your best bet is to stay away from any kind of adornments on your jeans. Another thing that can really date you and make you look older is wearing an outdated silhouette. And right now, the one that, you know, I still see it, but it's probably the most dated is the super skinny jeans like these. This is the only pair of super skinny jeans I have, and I kept them only for illustrative purposes in my videos. So these are very stretchy and they are skin tight. They're like, you know, sausage casings. Yes, they are great for tucking into boots, but again, this is a dated look. You know, this is just not the look right now with the super skinny jeans and tucked into these kind of tall ankle boots. You know, this is giving very much 2015, not 2025. And you can see by simply changing out my jeans. And guess what? These jeans are from Chico's. Chico's does have great jeans. You just have to be choosy. These are a nice dark wash. They're a straight leg, so they're pretty much straight from the thigh all the way down. And I swapped out the boots. I've got a little bit more modern style of booty on with this pair of jeans. And now I look like I'm in 2025. And why does that matter? Because if we're dressing like we're 10 years ago, it gives the impression that we're out of touch. And when you become out of touch, you kind of become irrelevant. And I know that's a harsh thing to say, but that's how society perceives you. If you're out of touch with what's going on, then you don't matter. And yes, you do matter. I'm talking about perception. That's the way you are perceived. And as they say, perception is reality. The number 6 style mistake that can make you look frumpy or outdated or out of touch is wearing something that was super hot a few years ago past its expiration date. So I'm talking about those things that they were ubiquitous. You saw them everywhere. Everybody wore it. Everybody had one. It's all you saw there for a while. Like a fashion supernova. It shined bright and then it burned out and faded away. So what are some examples of those kind of things? Well, the one that I love to talk about, and I get hate about it sometimes, is a cold shoulder top. Now these were popular about 10 years ago. So you're looking in the 20-teens. Cold shoulder tops of all different kinds were everywhere and they were very popular for some reason. I don't know. I never saw the appeal in these tops. I'd never owned one. But for some reason, women of a certain age really liked the cold shoulder look. And there are some ladies who just still wear these cold shoulder tops and it looks so dated, especially if you pair a cold shoulder top with some skinny jeans. Oh my gosh. Then you really look out of touch. You look like you've been in a coma since 2015 and you woke up and put on something that, you know, was still in your closet from 2015 and you think, you know, you're still in style, but you're not. So that's an example. Another example of this kind of thing would be the chevron print. Do you remember it was around 2012, 2013 that chevron print tops, dresses, skirts were everywhere. And I mean, you couldn't get away from them. They were in every store. And then all of a sudden, you just never saw them again. So if you're still wearing a top that is this chevron print, then it's time to give it a rest because that looks really dated. And dated equals old-fashioned equals frumpy. Another example would be the J. Crew bubble necklace. I had one of those. Everybody had one of those, I think. And, you know, they were everywhere and then there were knockoffs of it and then they went away. And another one is the jeans from around 2010, 2009, 2010, the Miss Me jeans. Do y'all remember these? They had the very thick white stitching and they were low rise and had the blinged out back pockets. It was a very distinct look and it was like the boot cut style, you know, really tight through the thighs and then a boot cut. And some people really, really liked these jeans and clung on to those for a long time. You can still buy these, but that doesn't mean they're in style. Just because it's in a store does not mean it isn't frumpy. And this next one, I know I'm going to step on some toes here too, so you've been warned. Another one of the top mistakes that are making you look frumpy, outdated, old-fashioned is old lady shoes. And what do I mean by that? Does anyone recognize this? This shoe is from SAS, and my grandmother had a pair of these back in the 80s. You know, she was almost 80 back in the 80s, and she had bad feet. And so she wore these. And so that comes to mind when I think of old lady shoes. But it's anything overly orthopedic or rounded or molded looking. So here are some other examples of, you know, orthopedic looking shoes. And I'm not shaming you if you have to wear orthopedic shoes. There are better choices, and I'm going to go through some of those. And if you're 75 or you're 85 watching my channel and this is what you're wearing, then honey, you've earned the right. Go right ahead. I'm talking to my midlife sisters who are not there yet. And if you're wearing these things, they're really making you look older than you are. So chunky loafers, instead of something like this one is from Vionic. They are a comfort shoe brand known for their arch support. This is a much better option. Also, Sam Edelman makes a beautiful loafer. I mean, look how pretty this is in this chocolate suede. Another category of old lady shoe I call the nondescript shoe, or the shoe that has an identity crisis. You know, what is this? Is it a loafer? Is it a pump? Is it a booty? It's really none of these things. It's ugly is what it is. And these, I see these a lot too. No. And of course, the sports sandals with all the straps and the Velcro and the padding. You can wear something like this. This is just hideous. Or you can choose something like this. This is from Amazon, and it's still a comfort shoe, but it's much more streamlined. Or something like this from Land's End. This was my #1 bestseller from 2024, and so far this year, it's my #1 bestseller because it's a comfort sandal, but it doesn't look hideous. You can wear this with a lot of different things, and it doesn't scream old lady shoe. Also, ugly ankle boots. You know, we're going into fall, we're getting out our booties. These scream old lady with the molded design and the overly rounded toe. Instead of that, choose something like these from Vivaya. They are made with extra width in the toe box, and I have several pairs of Vivaya shoes, and they are so comfortable, including the boots. These are from Naturalizer, and they come in medium and wide widths, and Naturalizer's been around forever. They are a great comfort shoe brand. These are from Easy Spirit, which is another comfort shoe brand, and they look 10 times better than those ugly booties. And this one from Sam Edelman, it's in this beautiful suede, and it's available in medium and wide widths. And you can get it in suede and leopard if you're looking for that, or of course in leather. So you do have options. You don't have to settle for the ugly orthopedic looking old lady shoes. And if you have certain kind of foot concerns, for me, it's bunions. There are shoe brands dedicated to that problem. Vivaya is one of them. There's also Calla shoes. They're based in the UK. I have several pairs of Calla shoes. Their shoes are made specifically for women who have bunions but don't have otherwise wide feet. And they're designed specially to conceal the bunion without looking like an orthopedic shoe. Another brand that does this is Soul Bliss. I have 2 pairs of Soul Bliss pumps, and they are amazing. And again, they have these beautiful styles, all different kinds of shoes that are going to accommodate bunions without looking orthopedic. And my bonus tip that I just remembered as I was talking earlier is wearing an ill-fitting bra. I have done multiple videos on this topic, so I won't beat the dead horse. I'll just link, you know, to my playlist that has on my bra videos, but not supporting the girls properly. This is an epidemic. I see it every time I leave the house. Somebody has on a bra that's too small, too big, that you can tell is worn out because it's not doing anything for them. You know, the girls are down to their waist. You need a supportive bra that's going to keep the girls up where they belong. It's going to make you look slimmer. It's going to make you look neater, and it's going to help you not look frumpy. Thanks again to Sleep and Glow for sponsoring today. Remember, use my link in the description and code Serena, and you'll receive $15 off any pillow or blanket and 10% off everything else on their website. Thank you all for joining me today, and until I see you in my next video, have a stylish day. Bye.